The idea of a single currency for Latin America is an old one, and there has always been a desire to implement a model similar to the one in Europe with the Eurozone. While many envision the benefits of a common currency, which could intensify trade among Latin American countries in a mutually advantageous way, others present counterarguments that reveal the numerous flaws of this idea and suggest that its success is nothing more than a utopia. While many talk about the potential economic gains and unity among the countries, few delve into the challenges and problems that accompany this idea. The reality behind this project can be very interesting. For some countries, because for others, it would be the beginning of the end for their entire economy, with severe consequences for the entire population. In today's video, you will gain a deeper understanding of the unspoken truth about a single currency and what should be considered before implementing this idea. Welcome to the Visionary Businesses channel, where you will find the best videos on finance and technology. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the topic of this video, and comment on whether you think a single currency for Latin America is a good idea. I really want to know your opinion. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The topic of a single currency in Latin America often arises from the attempts of leaders to unite their economy with neighboring countries. However, at the end of 2022, the subject became more prevalent during the political campaign of the current president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The idea of a single currency resurfaced during a meeting between the then presidential candidate of Brazil and Alberto Fernandes, the president of Argentina. The Argentine president showed support for Lula's campaign and expressed openness to negotiations regarding the famous single currency of Latin America. After Lula's victory, the topic resurfaced and may be gaining the necessary momentum for implementation. Learn more about the new currency. As I mentioned before, the idea of a single currency for Latin America is not new, and in the early 2000s, plans for its implementation seemed to be in full swing. In 2007, the Union of South American Nations, UNASUR, proposed the creation of a single currency called the Sucre, which would be used by member countries. However, this proposal did not advance, and the project was put aside. Since then, several countries have been trying to garner support for the creation of the new currency, but the proposals have never gained traction. Despite the desire, it is undeniable that Latin American countries are not economically stable, and the perfect moment has never been found because some of the countries willing to implement the idea are in dire economic straits, hindering the project's progress. However, in 2022, the two largest economies in South America began to see eye to eye on the matter. Brazil and Argentina are now led by presidents who share the same political and economic vision, and they are even friends. Now may be the best time to implement the single currency, and it could be the missing piece for South American countries to have a strong and stable economy, much like Europe. After all, a single currency would bring numerous benefits to the economies of many countries, allowing prosperity to finally prevail. Well, not necessarily. The project does have its positive side, however, the truth that everyone tries to hide is the point that should truly be considered. But what would be the advantage of a single currency in Latin America? The advantages. The idea has several points that could greatly improve the economies of Latin American countries, and some of them are the dream of many. A single currency would facilitate regional trade by eliminating currency barriers between countries, making commercial transactions easier and boosting trade. This would reduce currency conversion costs and eliminate exchange rate volatility, creating a highly favorable environment for trade and investment. In this way, Latin America could reduce its dependence on the US dollar, which is currently widely used in commercial and financial transactions in the region. A single currency would also bring monetary stability and inflation control, as South American countries could establish a unified and coordinated monetary policy. This would help maintain economic stability in various countries while also controlling inflation, which in turn instills greater investor confidence and stabilizes domestic prices, promoting sustainable economic growth. A single currency would give Latin America a stronger position in international negotiations, strengthening its ability to influence trade and political agreements with other regions of the world. This would enable Latin America to have a more active voice in the global scenario, increasing its influence and bargaining power. A single currency could also promote a sense of identity and unity among Latin American countries, fostering greater political, cultural, and social cooperation and creating closer bonds among the people of the region. The idea seems interesting and promising, and perhaps it should be put into practice, considering that Europe has been functioning with the Eurozone since 1999. Thus, it would only require effort from the countries to create a single currency, drawing inspiration from the European model.
In theory, it seems to make sense.
But in practice, it is nothing more than an illusion, where only one side would benefit in this case.
You see, the main country interested in creating a new currency is Argentina,
but the fact is that the country is not interested in creating a common currency for all of Latin America, but only with Brazil. Brazil is the largest economy in South America, and Argentina is the second largest. If these two countries were to join forces, it would be sufficient for the rest to follow suit, and a single currency would certainly be successful. Yes, it would, if it weren't for a small problem. Thus, the idea of a single currency is completely unfeasible for Brazil, while being highly necessary for Argentina. The problem is that the current situation goes against the initial proposal of the project to create a single currency, which is based on cooperation among countries, where everyone can grow together and not sink together as would happen in this case.
Economists even claim that a currency between Brazil and Argentina at this moment is unrealistic.
Adriana Dupita, senior economist at Bloomberg Economics, further states that countries must have financial stability to have a common currency, something that, we must agree, is not the case for either Brazil, let alone Argentina. The idea of creating the so-called peso real would only create a really heavy burden for Brazil to carry, and certainly the country does not need to solve a gigantic economic problem that it did not even create.
Should Brazil help Argentina overcome this economic crisis? Or should the country focus on its own economy and only consider a single currency when all countries are relatively stabilized? Leave your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think about this topic. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos here at Visionary Businesses. A big hug and see you in the next video.